Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another card making video tutorial. Today we're going to do some more coloring on Kraft with our Olo markers. This time though, making a get well card using super cute brand new products from the Mama Elephant April 2023 release. I absolutely love these and they are going to make the cutest card. We are going to start by using these Plaid Builder stencils from My Favorite Things to just do a quick stenciled background. I didn't have a pattern paper kind of in the colorway that I wanted, so I'm going to go ahead and build my own plaid background as the backdrop for my scene card. And instead of using blending brushes, I am using the new Picket Fence Pouncers, which are awesome because they're not doing that rubbing motion, and on something like a intricate die cut stencil, and diagonals tend to be that a little fussy that way, the pouncing works so much better than the blending motion. So you can see I'm picking up the Simon Says stamp TROPIC, Pawsitively saturated ink with the pouncer, and I'm just pouncing the color on. Now I'm not taking the color clear out to the edge. I really love the look of it more concentrated in the center and then fading out towards that outer edge. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the skinny stencil and do this design two ways as well. This time I'm going to use the Cantaloupe ink from Simon Says stamp. I'm really loving the aqua and orange color combination lately. I don't know what it is, but it's my favorite. So I am going to go ahead and finish up my plaid with this. This is an awesome stencil set. I absolutely love it, and it's great in all kinds of fun colorways. Once I'm done with this, I am going to die cut my emerald package frame from white cardstock a couple of times. And that's going to be my frame that goes around the card. And it's going to be a bold frame. Instead of doing like a Kraft tone on tone or something like that, I really wanted the white to stand out. On another piece of the Desert Storm cardstock, I guess it's not called Kraft, it's the Desert Storm Neenah cardstock, I am going to take all the images I want from the Feel Better Mama Elephant stamp set, and I am going to ink these up with Hero Arts Intensified Black ink and stamp these on my cardstock. Now, I know that Express It cardstock is the recommended cardstock for alcohol ink coloring for the most part. I say try different cardstock and see what works for you. You may have to adjust some things that you do or whatever, but I do find that the Olos work really good on the Kraft. It's something I've been doing quite a lot of lately because I love the effect, but you're just going to have to try your different markers and see what kind of results you get on the cardstock. So I want to keep my colors pretty close to what I did for the background basically. So aquas and oranges and neutrals for our bunny and like the wood of the nightstand and the bed, and just kind of have fun with it. I will list the markers that I am using down in the description below, so if at any time you're wondering exactly what I used to color in each area of the image, check down there. I'm going to keep the coloring pretty much, it's sped up, but not super sped up, so that you can see exactly how I color everything in. Basically only using 2 shades per color. The yellow orange I'm using here is one that is great. I mean, it's called a yellow orange because it's the YO, right? But I do find on Kraft it gives a little bit more of that neutral tone. I think it gives a pretty neutral tone anyway, but on Kraft it looks different than it would on white. And so I liked it for my bunny, and it's going to be enough different than the other colors I'm going to use. The orange reds, I think, is what I'm using for the wood of the bed and the nightstand, that it really ends up showing up. It shows the difference in the color. I'm also going to take some blue markers and go over the glasses after I've colored him in with the yellow orange markers to have that little tint of glass to them. And I'm going to give some little pink cheeks with a red marker and the insides of the ears as well. For my bed, I'm going to use some blue greens, of course, to color in my bedding. We'll add a nice little bit of color to the comforter as well as the pillows. And then we're going to color in the rest of the bed with some nice neutrals. And I really kind of built that color up. And you guys are probably going to guess what my favorite part of this bed is. I love that little heart down at the base of the bed, at the end of the bed, pardon me. I think it's so cute. So I will color that in with some red markers to make it stand out. The other really fantastic thing about this bed from the Feel Better stamp set is that when you use the coordinating die, it die cuts a spot between the comforter and the pillows, so you can tuck a little critter or critters into that bed. Now, you may not want or need a Feel Better card, but maybe you just want something to do something else cute. Even let's say you're building a little scene card, you want to build like a little, there's a slimline set from Mama Elephant where it kind of looks like, I always think it looks like an apartment that's tall and skinny with windows in it, and you could tuck, the bed back behind there and almost make it look like rooms in an apartment or a house. So there are other things to do with this besides just a get well card. Obviously, there's a lot of cute little accessories that make it look, like somebody's recovering, but I love that in the stamp set, you get the lamp, and there's also like a vase with flowers in it. So you could do some different things. I think that that's really cute and really fun and makes it more versatile, since the bed and the nightstand and a couple of the other images in here, as well as the little dog and the bunny, or maybe they're both bunnies. They might both be bunnies, you guys. They can be used for anything. Not just this card, because without the accessories, they could be holding anything. And that is the other great thing about the critters, is it does die cut, the coordinating dies die cut around their paws so that they can hold on to the different elements. I decided the neutrals I used were not quite dark enough. So this is a case where I am actually going in with a much darker color and just adding some more shading. And that is the beauty of alcohol ink markers, is that you can go over something really as many times as you need to get that shading just the way you want it. And so I will do that here. But isn't it looking cute? Absolutely love that. I'm going to go back in with my darker of the two shades I'm using in the blue green and just add in a little bit more. And then we're going to do the nightstand as well. Same brown shades, neutral shades, I guess I should call them. I'm going to do darker here inside where the books are. The details on these are absolutely amazing. So, so cute. Very fun to build scene cards if you are like me and you love a good scene card. I especially love too the little wadded up Kleenex. And there's lots of different images, so it's going to work for a lot of things. Like there's a crutch, and then there's Band-Aids, a little medical kit, a bowl of soup, obviously the little ice pack, the little pill bottle of medicine. There's a heart with a Band-Aid on it, which I thought was really cute for somebody who might have a broken heart and you want to send a card. I really just thought the detail in this stamp set was unique and very cute and would work for a lot of different things. I could see just taking one of the critters and putting the broken heart in there and doing a thinking of you card without any of the rest of the images in this set. So very, very fun. And don't think that you're limited to just these critters. Think about the cute hedgehogs from this release. You could use those to build a scene card. Any of your favorite critters really that aren't like theme specific, I think would be absolutely adorable in this set. So I colored in the books there in the nightstand. I need to figure out my lamp and all of the rest of this. I think we're going to do I want to do a little pop of red for the pill bottle. So the band around the bottle I'm going to do in some red shades. I'm going to do grays for the cap and just like a little light neutral for the bottle itself. I'm not actually going to color that in too terrible much. If you have colored on Kraft cardstock, let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. It's something that I have found myself doing a lot of lately. I'm loving the effect. I love that even though these are all images that I am die cutting, so they're going to have that outline all the way around, that it's not the white outline. I don't know. I'm really, really loving that about coloring on Kraft. I think it's kind of fun. I'm going to use a really light yellow for the Kleenex, both in the Kleenex box and the wadded up tissue. And I think we'll do the base of the lamp in some grays, just a nice neutral. I didn't really feel like pulling in another color here. The lamp shade is that aqua to kind of match the room. And so we're just going to go ahead and do a nice gray. But I felt like deepening and darkening that just a tiny bit. And then the Kleenex box, because I did that little skinny orange stripe, I did do an orange book, but I felt like pulling in a little bit more orange here for the Kleenex box itself. And I got carried away with the inside of the Kleenex, so I need to go back with my yellow and kind of fix the tissue. I'm going to die cut everything. I am going to speed up the video just a tiny bit for assembly. Just to show kind of quickly show how to put everything together once I have everything die cut. I always like to kind of lay everything out first before I actually attach anything. We want to make sure that we have everything we need, that there's nothing else that I want to add. And in this case, I judged pretty well to begin with, so I end up not adding anything else. But a lot of times I will either add or take away. I'm going to choose the Get Well sentiment from the Wellness Wishes, and then I'm going to use a sentiment from the Feel Better stamp set right underneath that. And because the bunny's ears stick up so high, I think it looks really cute shifted over to the right. So I don't want to attach anything yet, because I think I would really like to stamp and emboss this phrase in white so it stands out and it ties into the beautiful white frame. And I don't want the embossing powder flakes to get on anything else, so I am simply, pardon my head in the way, I'm going to line this up. I'm going to remove everything else from my MISTI, and we are going to use a little powder tool here and stamp with clear embossing ink right on our background, add our white embossing powder, heat that right on up, and I love the way that looks on our Kraft background. Very easy to read, and again, it ties in so nicely with our frame. Then we can go ahead and build up the rest of our card. I'm going to go ahead and layer a couple of frames, one on top of another. You can do as many or as few as you want to here. I generally like at least 2. I don't know, it just gives a little bit more of a dimensional frame. I have die cut Get Well 3 times from Kraft cards, or the Desert Storm cardstock, and I'm going to use the pouncer tool with the Tropic ink, and I'm only going to ink basically the bottom, let's say 3/4 of that top greeting, just to give it a nice little bit of shading. And then we're going to glue these one on top of another and glue it down onto our card. Now, it's going to kind of blend into the background, but I am going to put a nice little layer of glossy accents on top of this, which is going to make it glossy and make it stand out, which I especially love. And it fits just perfect within our emerald package frame and right there above our stamped greeting. I am going to glue, again, the medicine bottle into the bunny's hands and then glue the bunny into the bed. But guess what? I'm sure you guys have already all guessed. We are going to use some foam adhesive to pop up our scene on our card. I love foam adhesive. I decided though, while I was working on this, to go ahead and get that glossy accents going and get it starting to dry. So I'm gonna apply that there. You can, so it gives you an idea of how cute this is gonna look. And of course you saw the photos at the beginning of the video, so you saw what it looks like dry. I'm going to place all of the foam here on the back of my large image after I have it all put together. And you can see how cute that looks. I really love the placement of the sentiments here. A black glaze pen for the eyes, but I am going to put glossy accents over the glasses because I especially love anytime a critter or an image is wearing glasses or is holding a glass, or there's a glass or a pitcher, a glass pitcher or something on a card. I love when it's covered in glossy accents or crystal lacquer or whatever you like to use. After I have built the rest of the scene, I'm going to add that glossy accents and then let that completely dry. And I feel like our frame needs a little embellishment, don't you? So we are going to take some cute little hearts and some pearls to embellish our frame. I thought a frame in the center of the top row and the bottom row of the would be really cute and just add a nice little pop of color. So we've got our little red candy apple hearts. And then I did pull out peach or the creamsicle and the seafoam pearls, but I did end up only using seafoam. I decided not to use any of the creamsicle ones here. And I think that was a good call. I like how it looks. I feel like it didn't need that additional color. So we're just going to glue down our hearts. And even just that is super cute. You could even do a trio of hearts at the top and the bottom. Lots of great ways to add a little embellishment, but we're just going to put the tiniest seafoam pearls on either side of the hearts on the upper and bottom row. And then we can place this whole panel on a white top fold card base, and we are all finished. You can definitely stamp a coordinating envelope if you'd like to. Very easy, I think, to maybe, you know, put a little critter or even just a little assortment of medicine bottles or something, and that would be very, very fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this card where I colored with alcohol ink markers on Kraft cardstock. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There's exclusive content, you'll receive a handmade birthday card from me during your birthday month, monthly lives for my top tier patrons, and more. We would love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you're always notified when I have a video or go live. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.